world is environmental protection. That comes after inflation, recession, having enough money to pay the bills, as well as crime. And people rate it as a higher concern even than educational quality. Second environmental trend is that people are taking environmental protection into consideration when they buy products. In fact, 30% of the people globally say they take it into consideration, and in Latin America that number is 50%. Third is that people are ranking environmental responsibility as the number 2 most important thing for corporations. That's only after providing good jobs. My name is Gingras. I've worked on environmental programs for the past 12 years at Hewlett-Packard, and I believe it's critical that we balance economic growth with environmental sustainability through innovation and leadership, and that's supported by our CEO, Meg Whitman, in this statement that you can see here. As one of the world's leading companies, the way we do business matters. The contributions we make to benefit people, communities, and the planet also create value for HP, our customers, our stakeholders, and our shareholders. It's not just good value, it's good business, and that means a path to sustainable growth. During my presentation today, please think about 2 things. One, how HP is working to reduce our own environmental impact and the impact of our customers, and how HP's accomplishments and goals can inspire customers and other companies to take action for the environment. HP works to reduce our environmental impact in 3 key areas: our supply chain, our own operations, and our products and services. To better understand our overall environmental impact, HP did a comprehensive carbon footprint of Hewlett-Packard and our products, of how we buy and sell and distribute and how people use our products. And it was categorized into 3 areas: supply chain, operations, and our products and solutions. This was we're one of the first global companies to offer this type of information publicly, and it's based on carbon footprint standards and the way we did the calculations. So I'd like to tell you a little bit about each of these areas, and then we're going to focus on printing products and solutions. Our supply chain. So this carbon footprint measures the environmental impact of the manufacturing of our products and the transportation of our products. HP ships about 60 million desktop and laptop notebook PCs in a year, and we transport about 1 million products every day. So it's important to focus on this area, and we do that with innovative design and with partnering with our supply chain partners. And one other thing to note is we actually spend about $90 billion a year with tens of thousands of different partners. In a 4-year time period, by working with those partners and by doing design innovation, our first-tier partners were able to reduce their carbon footprint by about 24%. Second area is operations, and this includes the environmental impact or the electricity use in our facilities, the commuting and transportation of our employees. We have about 6.7 million square meters of facilities or of real estate in the world, and about 300,000 employees that travel or commute to work. So although this is only 4% of our overall footprint, we have spent a lot of energy and time to reduce our impact in this area. And in 2011, we reported that we had reduced our emissions, our carbon emissions, by 20% over the year 2005, and at that point set a new goal. So by the year 2020, I think I have a new slide here. By the year 2020, we have set a goal to reduce our carbon emissions another 20% in this area. So the third section is our products and solutions, and that makes up the 60% of our carbon footprint. And so we have focused extensively in this area. And as I mentioned before, we ship quite a few products, 60 million PCs, And our printing customers print about 800 billion pages a year. So we want to help our customers and reduce their environmental impact with our products. So in a 5-year time period, actually since 2005, we reduced the energy that our products consume by 50% as a portfolio on average. And we've also focused on return and recycling programs, which helps us reduce our environmental impact of the end of life of products. So the recycling, not only are we minimizing the carbon emissions, but also reducing the waste that goes to landfills. So I've talked about the 3 different areas in general. Now I'm going to focus in on the products and solutions and minimizing the environmental impact for our customers. By focusing in this area, we help our customers meet their business objective of reducing costs and waste. We help them meet their sustainability objectives of reducing electricity use, of reducing paper waste, and recycling more often. Our printing environmental strategy includes 3 pillars. One is efficient printing. The second is responsible forestry practices. And the third is return and recycling. We'll start with efficient printing and how to reduce energy use and paper waste. So as I mentioned before, since 2005, we've reduced the amount of energy our portfolio of products use by 50% on average. But we started long before that, so we've been focusing on design innovations more than 20 years. And you can see with this chart, you might not be able to see, it's a little bit small, but in 1984, the LaserJet 2 it cost about $56 per year to run that product. By 2008, we'd reduced that by, it was about 1/20th of the energy required to run a comparable LaserJet product in 2008. It was about $3 an entire year to operate that product. And now in 2013, a comparable LaserJet product is about $1.46 to run. So over time, you can see that it makes a difference in the amount of energy that's used and then also the cost for our customers. A few technology advancements to note. First is instant-on technology, which allows the LaserJet printers to power up more quickly and use less electricity. In 1994, we introduced all-in-one inkjet printers. There's 2 key things to note here. First is the inkjet technology does not use a fuser. So it uses about half as much electricity as LaserJet technology. And then second is that all-in-one products, both LaserJet and inkjet products, take less resources to build because it's a print, a scan, and fax all in one, rather than having 3 different products. A few other things just that we've launched in the last few years is auto-on and auto-off feature for our LaserJet products. That means it completely powers down the printer when it's not in use. And that's important because more than 60% of our product's electricity use can be consumed when it's not in operation, when people aren't even using it, maybe nights or weekends. Another advancement is the energy efficient toner. In 2006, we started shipping printers with energy efficient monochrome toner. And then in 2013, we started doing energy efficient color toner as well. What that means is that the toner melts at a lower temperature, so requiring less energy to heat up. The innovation and technology in our products and the focus on environmental responsibility has allowed HB to be certified with a number of different Ecolabels. There's different Ecolabels all over the world. 2 I'll give you an example of today: Energy Star and EPEAT. Energy Star is an energy program that's sponsored by the US EPA, and it focuses on the products with the top or the lowest energy use. And that Energy Star, many of you may have seen it because it's been adopted in different parts in the world, in the EU, in Australia, Korea, Japan. The other important eco-label to note is EPEAT, and that's Electronics Products Environmental Assessment Tool. And that tool is a little more comprehensive, a lot more comprehensive actually, than Energy Star because it focuses on multiple environmental attributes, and it allows the private sector and the public sector to compare products based on a range of different environmental attributes. HP leads the industry in products with Energy Star certification, and EPEAT actually silver printing, silver printers. This is an example of a printer that was just released in April. It's an enterprise inkjet printer, so it's a new printer that's on the market, and it's not only fast, it's about 72 pages per minute, but it's the inkjet technology, which is about half the energy use as a laser jet printer, and it has both EPEAT and Energy Star. So I just wanted to show you an example of a product that has both certifications. HP has a number of different tools that we offer to our customers to analyze and improve their energy use. This is a carbon footprint calculator, and we offer it for PCs and for printers. And it allows customers to compare either two products, maybe an older printer to a newer printer, or two new printers, or an entire fleet of printers to do an analysis to understand what if they made a change or an update to an entire fleet of printers. And it gives the customers a look at what the energy use is, what the paper use is, and the costs. They'll be able to understand the cost savings with this. A few of the different tools that we offer to customers to help them reduce paper waste would be duplexing or two-sided printing. And many printers, you can set that as a default, so it automatically prints on both sides. And with our enterprise customers, when they use WebJet admin software or universal print drivers, they can set it as a default to print on both sides. Second tool is called Smart Print. And have you heard of that? Anybody heard of that? Okay, great. It's an application that's free on hp.com. And it allows you to print web pages, but just what you want from the web page. Maybe you don't want to print all the comments at the bottom or the navigation bars on the sides. You just want to print the article in the middle. And that's what this application will allow you to do, and it's available on Chrome and Internet Explorer and Firefox. And it saves up to 25% of your pages because you're just printing what you want to print. And a third tool is pull printing, and this is for customers that have centralized printing. Say you're at your desk and you want to print something and you send it to the printer. You don't have to go to the printer right away to pick it up. You can go later and input your personal identification number, and then it will print while you're there. What studies have shown is that 10 to 30% of print jobs are either left at the printer and forgotten, or someone else picks them up by accident. And so having a personal identification number reduces that number, and it also adds security. So our second pillar within our printing strategy is the responsible forestry practices. So HP works to source fiber for paper from responsibly managed forests. And it's the paper that we use, we buy, we sell, or we use for packaging. And we've set a goal on the amount of FSC certified paper that we sell to be 50% of our HP paper products by the year 2015. Right now it's about 40%, but just a few years ago, so in 2003, we were just at 3%. And so we are working very hard to make sure that our fiber of our papers is sourced from responsibly managed forests. And we're not doing this by ourselves. We're working with WWF, the Global Forest and Trade Network, and as well as the FSC organization. And if you're interested to find out if your paper is FSC certified, you can just look on the package and you'll be able to see an FSC seal on the package. And you can see it looks like this right down here. So the final pillar of our printing strategy is recycling. And HP actually is a leader in the amount of material that we recycle every year. In 2013 alone, we recycled 113 million pounds of computer equipment and HP cartridges, and 21 million pounds of hardware was reused or refurbished. Our HP Planet Partners for ink and laserjet cartridges is free in 50 countries throughout the world, and it covers more than 90% of our cartridges that are sold. Those recycling programs do. For hardware, we offer recycling as well as reuse, and so some customers are able to get some value back for their products when they recycle them. And we also offer custom services like data destruction, hard drive destruction, certifications of destruction, and other services like that, because security is very important to customers, and make sure that that's not left on their products. HP Planet Partners has enabled a closed-loop recycling process for our cartridges. And Shelley will be talking in depth about this today, and this is the news of the day, is that HP uses the recycled content from HP Planet Partners as raw material back into new cartridges. Before I turn it over to Shelley, though, I'd like to let you know that you'll receive thumb drives, and it will have a presentation of all of our presentations on the thumb drives, and there will be links to each of the tools that I mentioned in the presentation today, so that will all be available. Are there any questions? Anything you'd like me to repeat? Yes?
Sorry, do you say that the program is currently covered 90% of cartridges?
So we offer recycling in 50 countries, and obviously that doesn't cover all the countries, but it does cover 90%, more than 90% of our sales of cartridges.
Are there plans to kind of scale that up to the, excuse me, are there plans to scale that up to the remainder to cover?
Yes, we continue to launch recycling in more and more countries. In fact, just in February this year, we launched in Panama ink and laserjet cartridge recycling.
What would be a reason why it's not in those 10% of the countries? Is there logistic barriers or what? We just haven't got around to it yet.
Yes, it takes a certain amount of time to launch each program, and so we are launching them as within a strategy. So we launch them as we go. And actually, it's probably much more than 90% at this point. What would you say?
It is actually 90%.
It is 90%. You just did the calculation. That's great. So, there's also, it takes about a year and a half to get approvals and all of the things you need to do to launch a new program.
So
Yes.
when you say recycling further, are you talking take back there and recycling of the product?
Yes.
So that would be customer take back?
Yeah, so customers would return their cartridges or their hardware products. So HP Planet Partners accepts hardware from any brand in most countries. And then HP cartridges, because we have very specialized recycling capabilities for our cartridges. And so and tomorrow in the breakout sessions, we'll talk about the regional capabilities, because in each region there are a little bit different types of return options for customers.
Yeah, sorry, and the figures you mentioned, the 113 million pounds, you're talking weight there?
Yes.
And that's US?
No, that's worldwide.
Sorry, is that US pounds? I think there's
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, it's US pounds. Yes, 113 million pounds. Yes. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. This, well, as you said, in Latin America, different countries return the cartridge to U.S. facilities.
Yes.
But in order to reduce the footprint of this, because you have a lot of energy waste in the transportation, so this impact in the carbon footprint, the recycle process also impact in the carbon footprint. So it could be designed the cartridge in a new ways that you can process it locally.
This is a great comment, and it's something that we've spent a long time thinking about to understand if the transportation of cartridges from the customer to maybe a facility to consolidate the cartridges and then to our recycling processing and then to our manufacturing processing, if that offsets our environmental savings. And Shelley's going to talk about the research project today, and it does not offset the environmental savings, and there's still a very significant amount of savings, environmental savings, by using like the recycled plastic that we're, even if we have to transport it.
Okay.
Yeah. So we did that analysis because we were worried about that as well. But so there's a lot of technology in our recycling facilities, and the recycling facilities can handle large amounts of products, and so they're automated, and so it's more efficient to have more cartridges going through those recycling
but the design of the cartridge in the future could be more simpler, that you reduce the technology to recycle them.
And so that's a great point, and actually we are able to now recycle about half of our ink cartridges that are being collected in Latin America, in Mexico, and in Brazil. We are recycling all of our ink cartridges, and it's from Design Innovations. Yes. Great. Yeah.
In countries where you don't have a specific presence yet, are you working with any local recycling efforts in order to at least kind of prepare for an official HP presence?
Yes, we are. And we can talk specifically tomorrow about whatever country you're interested in. I have notes on them all. And so we do. There's a number of things you have to do. You have to, find out if there's logistics providers, if there's vendors in the country, if there's, especially for hardware, because a lot of the hardware is recycled locally. If there's, we have to talk to the government. So there's a lot of preparation we do even before we can launch a program. So I'm pretty sure we've covered most in Latin America. We've talked to all the countries. Yes.
Have you made any progress with doing something with the ink besides just disposing of it safely? Because there's always some ink left in a cartridge when it comes back.
We are still working on that. Do you have any comment on that? Did you hear the question? Are we doing anything with the ink today?
Yes. Today we mostly process the ink through energy recovery, but we are looking for solutions for the future, and we hope next time we see you that we'll have something to share.
Yes, great. If you want to hook us up with anyone, let us know. Okay. Yes.
If I take cartridges back to a place like Staples, does it end up in this program?
So tomorrow you'll be hearing the specific return programs for the U.S. and Canada in your session. But yes, so Staples is one of our partners in North America, U.S. and Canada. And when those cartridges are returned, they consolidate them and then they send them to our recycling facility. We're also doing that in the U.S. with Office Depot and Walmart. And we have partners in Latin America in 4 different countries. And I can give you the specifics tomorrow. Yeah. Yes?
Is your packaging also FSC certified?
Much of it is, and that is part of our paper policy, is to have FSC certified packaging as well. But another thing to note about our packaging, it's either FSC or it's recycled content. And so for our cartridges, on the box you'll be able to see that it's paperboard made from 80% total recycled content and 35% post-consumer content. So when we use recycled content, it's not FSC. Okay, so that's what we try to do with the packaging, and we've done that on the toner cartridge as well. Okay, all right, you guys are awake. That's awesome. All right, now I'd like to introduce Shelley Zimmer.